coming up as a store now?
Alrighty, so today we're talking about the 30 Years' War. We're going to be looking at some analogies. So you know how this works. You don't necessarily have to write down everything that's up here. The part that's worth points to you are your own analogies at the end. So take light notes up here, but don't worry about every word. What I'm looking for is your brain at the end of all of this. So the 30 Years' War is like a family quarrel. Family fight, family quarrel.
Also 30 years.
The thing we read about yesterday.
You're like super weird.
Those are really
It's the so you'll yes.
I think I get it. So it's kind of like the church was fighting with each other.
Yes.
But they ended up.
They wound up making amends at the end, yeah, but hopefully the average family fight doesn't run for 30 years and kill millions of people. That'd be a bad family fight. So yeah, he's there. It was between everybody fighting were Christians. Everybody fighting were members of the church. So so that fits. How else? How else is it like a family quarrel?
Well, I know how it was not like it.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah.
Look right where you like.
Oh, what the heck?
Oh yeah,
is
that's
there?
kind of weird, huh? Yeah. Is that freaking you out a little bit?
Yeah, that's scary.
Wait, who is that?
Oh,
Oh, the guy.
Oh,
He looks
Okay.
really far away and his arms are like these really long.
no.
that's not cheap.
That's just a guy.
That's a girl.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not Jesus. Let's keep going here with the analogy to work on. So, how is the 30 Years' War like a family quarrel?
Oh, there's always innocent bystander.
There you go. So, poor child here, right? Caught in the middle of this, and in the 30 Years' War, there were, I'm sure, lots of people on both sides, lots of Catholics and lots of Lutherans and lots of Calvinists who were not really excited about having to kill people and wanted some kind of peace sooner. Yeah. So what else? What else? No, we're still with Finn. In a family fight, is the root issue always a really big deal?
No.
No, most of the time family fights are over stupid things. A tone of voice that somebody used and they shouldn't have. An implied meaning that should not have been there, or even a misunderstanding. And so often that's what causes family fights. And when you look at the reason that people were killing each other for 30 years in Germany, small reasons to kill each other. Big reasons to reformulate your church, but stupid reasons to kill each other. What else? Anybody else have a good idea as to why this is why the 30 Years' War in Germany is like a family quarrel?
Both sides don't give in.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. And you know, when mom and dad are fighting, or you and brother or sister are fighting, it takes a long time for one of you to go, okay. You're right. I'm sorry. Right? It tends to be something that just keeps rolling. So, yeah, neither side wants to back down. Okay, how does it not fit? Yes.
No one is getting killed.
Oh, we hope so. Yeah. Yeah. There are family fights that end in murder, but we hope that that's not what goes on in your home. Family fights don't generally end in murder. How else does this not fit?
Only feelings get hurt.
Yeah, unless there's an abusive situation, then yeah, only feelings get hurt. For a war, that's not the case. Very few people are sold into slavery because of family quarrels. Joseph, yeah. My grandfather was sold as a slave because of a family problem, but because somebody was arguing with somebody else. Anything else? You had one, but now you can't find it. Okay.
I think it looks like things.
Just don't make any sense.
Maybe that's why she keeps on breaking some.
Wow.
Seven.
Alrighty. Next one. The 30 Years' War is like a hurricane. How does it fit?
Savage.
Wow. Two opposing forces in nature and gives it to each other. So
Okay, yeah. So,
people get affected by it.
okay. Opposing forces of nature that don't give up. In this case, warm air and cold air. But in the case of the 30 Years' War, Lutherans and Catholics. Okay. How else is the 30 Years'
It
War like
kind
a
of
hurricane?
brings the people together though after the hurricane. So like after they destroy the book, the people are forced to come together.
To help each other rebuild?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that fits. That fits. Everybody was happy when the Peace of Westphalia happened, and you could have your faith and live in your town and not care if your faith is illegal. So that was definitely a very, very good thing. As long as you were one of the three churches, right? Well, the struggle is not over. We'll read about other groups that still kill each other in the name of Christ. But at least for these three churches, the fight was over. So how else? How else does this fit?
You're in the hurricane, then you reach a small piece, and then war after.
Yeah, good. So there was the War of Revolution that happened right after Luther. Then the Peace of Augsburg lasted for a while, and then war came later. So good. Yeah, it's very good. How else? How else does this fit?
There's something else. There's storms.
Yeah, that's what he just said. Yeah, there was a moment of peace in the middle of the struggle. Yeah.
Like after the hurricane. Wait. Never mind.
Oh, come on.
I
What were
don't
you saying?
know, like after the war was over, there was repercussions. After the hurricane,
There's rebuilding to be done, and there's a big mess to clean up. The Peace of Westphalia included redrawing national boundaries. The struggle had been so bad that new nations were created and boundaries were moved. So similarly to after a hurricane, there's a big mess, and it takes a lot of work to clean up. What else? Anything else come to mind? Yeah.
Hurricanes, no. If a hurricane lasted 30 years,
True. True. It would be bad. But you're saying that
they don't really last. Hurricanes don't last as long, just for house.
that's a not fit. We're still in fit. Are hurricanes short events?
Yeah.
As far as weather phenomenon go, they tend to last, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they last a lot longer than a normal thunderstorm or a rainy day. So they are long lasting, like the 30 Years' War was long lasting. What else? Do you tend to see? Do you know that a hurricane is coming?
Weather.
Yeah. Now we have the Weather Channel. Back then, you could even stand on the beach and be like, "Wow, that looks nasty," and you've got some time to see that it's coming, right? So, does that fit? The 30 Years' War? Yeah. Peace of Augsburg was not perfect, and there were pretty quickly problems, and the problems started to fester, and eventually broke out in war. So, it fits as well because you can see it coming. You know that something bad is on its way. Okay, cool. How does it not fit? John said hurricanes don't last for 30 years. What else?
The 30 Years' War, it was started off through math, like the people,
Mhm.
but hurricanes, it's created through nature.
Right. Okay. So it's nobody's fault when a hurricane happens. You could argue that it was Emperor Ferdinand's fault that the 30-year war began. Anybody else? Oh, come on. Think. Turn on your brains. How does this not fit? Yes.
There's more than one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like sometimes churches like or
Mm-hmm. Okay. You might actually say that that is a good fit because there was an uprising under King Frederick that was put down, and then there was an uprising under the Danish king that was put down, and then there was an uprising under the Swedish king that lasted longer. So you had multiple smaller conflicts that were kind of going on all at one time. So that actually kind of would be a fit. What else? Yes.
I think this is one. I call it 30 Years War. It's been churches, they started to spread apart. But for hurricanes, everything just gathered up into one.
Oh, like the weather system draws in moisture to the conflict or to the storm.
Yeah, they got like just everything just piles up into one. Comes together. Eventually, just destroys it.
That actually might be a fit though, depending how you want to look at that, because there were people in Czechoslovakia, and people in Denmark, and people in Sweden, and people in Holland, and people in France, and Spain and Austria, and they all got drawn into the conflict in Germany. So that actually might be a fit. Yeah. Anybody else? Okay, so 10 minutes remaining. Here's the one that you like. Make your own analogy. The 30 Years War is like something. How does your analogy fit? How does it not fit? And then personify your analogy and write about the 30 Years War from the first person perspective of your analogy. So you've had the same assignment before, and this proves to be very, very hard for a lot of you. So you are your analogy, and you're talking about the 30 Years War. So if I were going to use one of the ones I came up with, I am a hurricane. I bring destruction, and there is a, you know I'm coming. You can't do anything about it. I may offer you a brief peace, but I annihilate and wipe out. And in the same way, the 30 Years War was blah, 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 blah. Okay? So you are your analogy talking about the 30 Years War. That's the thing I want to see. So take the last 10 minutes class and put that together.